just show a little bit of where I am in Austin, Texas. Isn't it pretty? It's so pretty outside. Okay, talk to y'all in a minute. Well, hello again, dear hearts, and welcome back to the Lola Kids channel, where we talk about faith, love, and GLP-1s. And today is Transformation Thursday. So what I'm going to do is give a quick update of my progress from last week and then talk about what I am focusing on this week. This will probably be a short video because I think I mentioned in the last video, I'm actually traveling for work. So I'm actually getting ready to go to dinner with a coworker. So I wanted to quickly just kind of get on here and share what my progress has been for last week and things that I'm focusing on this week. But for those of you that may not know me, my name is Nicole, and I'm very excited to have you here with me today. So before I jump into my update, I want to first thank you all who have joined me for another episode and who have subscribed to the channel. If you're new here, please remember to follow, like, and subscribe. This channel was created for us to be able to share stories and experiences about life. So I'm glad you stopped by to tune in. And as always, I'm forever humbled and grateful. Okay, so this week, it's a pretty regular week for me. If you see my other videos, you saw I kind of talked through how I got started with the GLP-1, specifically how I got started with Zepbound. You've seen me talk about my first 6 months. I talked about my first year, and then I also talked about kind of where I am now heading towards maintenance. I am about 25 pounds away from my goal weight, which my goal weight is 165 pounds. So a lot has changed in the first year. I'm going into obviously a little over my first year, but about 16 months. I've taken 72 shots so far. So that's 72 weeks. So yeah, so definitely in a phase where I am refining all of the things that I learned in my first year, and definitely refining what I do as far as workouts, what I do as far as lifting, weight training, strength training, all of that kind of stuff. So that is where I am in getting ready to prepare for sustainability with my weight. So what I wanted to share was just quickly my progress from last week. So I'm always going to talk about a week prior. So I am now officially 190 pounds. So I lost like 0.2 pounds. So we'll take it, right? We'll take it. Total change so far has been 97.7 pounds, meaning just total of weight lost is 97.7 pounds. My current BMI is 32.6, not much change there. 80% to my goal. My goal progress is 80%, however you want to look at that. Percent of fat loss is 34%, and my weekly average of how often or how much weight I lose is about 1.4 pounds. So still almost about a pound and a half. And like I said, I am about 25 pounds away from my goal weight. So it does feel weird. I did actually get a comment from one of, actually two of my family members asking, "You're not going to lose any more weight, are you?" And I don't know. I was considering, like, I feel really healthy. I feel good. I know I do need to tone, and that actually that's probably the 25 I need to lose. It's like toning the remaining fat that I have. So I've been thinking about that, but I definitely still feel very healthy at the size that I am. I definitely, am still striving to lose that 25 pounds, but it's more of, I don't really think about the scale so much or dropping those pounds. I think more about, like I talked about in the last video, that weight sustainability, right? So it's the toning, it's the weightlifting, it's all of those things to help me sustain my weight once I get to my goal, right? That's really what I'm focused on. When you're, I was over like almost 130 pounds overweight, right? So initially when I started a GLP-1, the focus was to lose fat, right? To lose some of that weight. And in the meantime, while I was doing all of that, I was focused on nutrition, making sure I was moving my body more and all that. So all of the things that I learned my first year, have been refining since then. As I mentioned before, I am on the 7.5 milligram. The majority of my time I was on the 5 milligram. I actually just titrated up this year in March to the 7.5 to help me break through the plateau. It was actually the first time I had experienced the plateau was my 60 weeks. So that definitely was a transition in itself when I had to really think about how I was going to break through the plateau. I knew that it was going to come. So I guess I was kind of prepared for it. I knew that I could titrate up because I had been on the 5 milligram for so long, and probably will be back on the 5 milligram for maintenance whenever I get there, which will probably be hopefully by the end of this year, I'm assuming. So yeah, this week, what I'd like to, and those who didn't watch the other videos, and please make sure that you go back and look at those. My shot day is usually on Monday, and I record these videos between Tuesday and Wednesday, and then post them on Thursday. So it's the Transformation Thursday, because we are transforming our bodies, minds, spirits, and souls. So I think this week what I'm going to focus on is really moving my body more. I have been a little lax the last 2 or 3 weeks just because work for me has been really crazy. So like I said, I'm in Texas right now and have lots of all-day meetings Thursday and Friday. I actually won't be back home until late on Friday night. So I'm spending my weekend probably doing some work. So that's the way that it goes sometimes. So I was trying to get these recordings in before that got a little even more, my work schedule got even more crazy. So I think what I'm going to try to do, and obviously moving around, walking from the airport, walking to the office, walking from the hotel to get meals and all those kinds of things definitely is helping with my steps. So I'm getting lots of steps in. So I may wake up in the morning, do some yoga or something, because I haven't been real consistent with that. I usually try to start my day with yoga if it's just 10 to 15 minutes, and then some type of functional training or strength training, whether it be my legs or my abs or my core, abs, same thing, or arms, something like that. So I try to focus on areas on different days of the week and be consistent with that. And I've kind of fallen off. So I'm going to try to get back into that this week and really focus in on what I need to do to lose these last 25 pounds. So I think that was it. What are you all doing? If you're on a GLP-1, I guess a question would be, what kinds of things would you like to hear? I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there now that definitely, and I'm one of them, right, that talk about GLP-1s, that are on it, that talk about their journey. So if there's things that you want to hear me talk about, I'm happy to do that. I like to talk about how this is more of a spiritual journey for me too. It's not just my body that is transforming, it's also my mind and my spirit that is also transforming. So God has definitely been dealing with me on not just my overall physical health, but my mental health, my spiritual health, all of those things. So it's a holistic view of the GLP-1 that is a tool, and then the things that I use with that. So that's prayer, that's fasting, that's all these things that go with what I'm doing with my weight loss journey. So if you want to hear any of that kind of stuff, that's what this channel is about. I did say this will be probably a quick video just because I wanted to kind of share my weekly update. But if there is anything that you would like to hear me talk about, if there is some thoughts you have on your mind about GLP-1s or some things you want me to cover on here, I'm happy to do that. And again, it's just from my perspective. I'm not a doctor. I'm not your specific doctor. So definitely just coming from a place of my own individual experience, my own individual walk. So I hope this was helpful in some way. If there's anything, again, like I said, that you'd like me to talk about, happy to do that. Otherwise, stay tuned for more, because more is always coming. Have a good one.